Hello, and welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going over an incredibly strong build with Wukong. Here he makes Steel Path content feel like normal content. I've been enjoying this frame, and this setup has become one of my favorite melee builds in the game. Because I have been having so much fun with this frame, I thought I'd make a video on it to share it. Before we journey into this video, if you found this guide interesting or helpful, please consider liking and subscribing for more Warframe content. Also, don't forget you can catch me live on Twitch Tuesdays through Saturdays at twitch.tv/MikeHobbs. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Beginning with Wukong's passive, which lets him defy death using one of his survival techniques up to 3 times per mission. In game, this essentially translates to extra lives for Wukong. You also get a bonus buff when activated. These are random and can be helpful boosts, but the survivability is a true power here. And with this build, the extra lives are yet another layer of protection for a build that caters to an aggressive playstyle. Wukong's first ability is Celestial Twin. Upon activating, a copy of Wukong splits off of him and begins fighting by your side. You can activate one again to direct your twin at desired targets with the damage boost. One thing to note that is if you're shooting your gun, your twin will have your melee weapon equipped, and if you have your melee on, your twin will have your primary weapon equipped. Cloudwalker is Wukong's 2. This ability has Wukong turn into a cloud of mist and fly around for a brief duration. When in this form, Wukong heals himself and his twin. This is a great movement ability that lets you zip to your objective or reposition if you find yourself in an unfavorable situation. Moving on to Wukong's 3, which is Defy. This is a defensive ability where he and his twin become invulnerable and store all damage taken and then unleash said damage in one strike. Furthermore, Wukong gains bonus armor relative to the damage stored and released. Lastly, Primal Fury is Wukong's 4th ability. When cast, Wukong summons his exalted weapon, his Iron Staff. This weapon can be modded with its own setup, and now that we can put arcanes on it, the Iron Staff can deal some impressive damage. I'm also using the augment for this ability called Primal Rage. This mod gives Primal Fury an increased crit chance to help boost damage further. The mod setup for this build is pretty straightforward. I spec for strength and duration. The extra strength is not only for more powerful abilities, but the crit chance on the Primal Rage augment is tied to it as well. So we can push our crit chance and subsequent damage further. Duration helps Wukong stay in his 4 pretty much indefinitely. Outside of that, I have some defensive mods for my shields along with adaptation. Moving on to arcanes and shards, I have arcane aegis for yet another line of defense. You could probably be just fine with something else here like arcane fury, but the combination of all these defenses makes it so I rarely see Wukong's passive activate. I'm also running arcane camisado, which gives Wukong more ability strength from celestial twin kills. For shards, I'm running 3 purples and 2 reds. The purples are for melee critical damage, and the reds are for some extra strength. This combination helps round out some stats and gives Iron Staff a boost to critical damage. The loadout here is up to player preference. I primarily melee with this build, but I like to keep in mind what primary my Celestial Twin will be using. I rarely use my secondary in this build, so I just throw on a personal favorite or something to level. For my melee weapon, I am keeping with the Wukong staff theme and using bow. I like this staff and it fits well with Wukong's playstyle when I'm not using the Iron Staff. Speaking of, the Iron Staff is the weapon I use the most with this build as it can easily clear Steel Path rooms. I have a corrosive exposure setup here, but the element and mod setup are not crucial for this build to work. Lastly, my companion of choice is my Doriga for priming. I'm also running Tenacious Bond here to get more crit damage. Outside of that, the companion and mod setup is pretty flexible. And there it is. A very fun and ridiculously strong build that turns Steel Path enemies into Primal Fury fodder. It's an easy build that's easy to build and unleash on Steel Path content. I enjoy running it when I'm doing Coda Liches because I can shred through any Tech Rot or Scoundrel missions with Wukong and his Celestial Twin. At the start of the mission, I just hit 1 to spawn in my twin, I hit 2 to zoom to my objective, surround myself with enemies, activate 3 to give myself armor, then enter Primal Fury and decimate the battlefield. The resulting gameplay is a very satisfying melee Warframe experience. But what about you? What did you think? Would you try this build? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.